Okay, so when I first saw this video,
I'm 46, and when I turned 50 and my husband is all better, we plan on moving out of this country and somewhere else in the world. No idea where yet, just not here. So my question is there a place we can move that people would be happy to have us, that we're not gentrifying or colonizing? Is there a way to do this? I don't want to be a problem, but I need to get the fuck out of this country.
at this point in the video, my first thought was no. There really aren't countries that would want an American to come to their country because they're running away from the US. I think most countries would really prefer for immigrants to have some level of appreciation of the new country, to have some desire to be there in particular, right? So if you're coming to Mexico, for example, I think Mexicans would generally appreciate that you want to come to Mexico. Not that you're running away from another country, but that you want to come to Mexico, that you appreciate Mexico, at least on some level. So the idea of moving someplace and having the people be glad that you're coming when you have no particular appreciation of that new country is pretty naive. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this particular version of the video with Brett Cooper in the background is because this is the actual video I saw. I saw Brett Cooper's reaction to this woman's video, and through Brett's reaction, I found out,
okay, this person is running to be a New Hampshire state representative.
in less than a week, people are going to be voting whether she should become a New Hampshire state representative in the US. When I found out about her political aspirations, that was my second response, was I hope nobody votes for her because she's literally trying to run away. But then, as with most political things, it does help to calm down and do a little more research. I was also kind of interested in the fact that she said,
And my husband is all better.
that kind of intrigued me, like, what's wrong with her husband? What's happening there, right? So anyway, skimmed through her Facebook page. So digging further in, yes, she is officially running for one of the New Hampshire state representative positions. I think it's Ward 2. I could be wrong about the ward. No, I do not particularly care for her politics. We do not align, and if I were a New Hampshire resident, I probably would not actually vote for her. However, here's what I admire. A year ago, which is when, by the way, she made this video, she was not at that time running for any political office that I'm aware of. What she was is a woman and a wife, super frustrated with some of the medical situations happening with her husband. Her husband, by the way, has a tick bite related illness. We all know that certain ticks really have very negative effects, and it's really hard to diagnose and find and all of that jazz. So she was at that time, I believe, living with this reality of her husband is very sick and not maybe getting the help he needed, / medical bills in the US are high. Her husband, I believe, does also have political aspirations. So she does have a background in politics in general and fundraising. That's the world she was in. And she was just super frustrated and wanting to leave, because we all know life in the US does, in fact, sometimes suck. And so in her frustration, a year ago, she made this video about wanting to run away. And I think we can all relate to that. I think we've all had moments in our life where things just did not work out. Everything looked horrible, and you thought, wouldn't running away be a great way to resolve this, or at least to give you a break, right? We need a vacation, we need like separation, we need like, but two, there are also no perfect countries. So the thing you're running away from has a fairly high chance will still be an issue at the new location, although a bubble can definitely be formed in the new location because you're an immigrant, because you're a foreigner, and so it might feel like a calmer and better place, which is valid. Here in Chiapas, I see a lot of unrest, but it's very hard for me to tap into what's really happening, and so it's hard for me to have a full opinion. So yeah, there's a disconnect and a bubble that happens naturally. And historically, there's just been a lot of times where people have considered leaving the US. This is nothing new. For example, when Roe versus Wade was first overturned, we heard a lot of people talking that they're gonna leave the US and go to another country.
An American woman is packing up her life and moving her family to Vancouver Island. The drastic measure in response to the US Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade.
When a president not of your choice gets elected, we also see a lot of people saying that they're going to leave the country and run away.
A few celebrities threatened to pack their bags if Trump won.
It happens in the military where people will tell me they don't want to serve a commander-in-chief that they don't respect, and so they tell me they're planning on retiring as soon as possible, or not re-enlisting, or in fact finding a way to get out early. It's a thing that I see a lot when certain, especially big things happen, that you just want to run away and go someplace new. But usually these are empty threats. Not necessarily that they're not willing to pull through it, but once the dust settles, once the emotions kind of calm down, usually people realize that running away will not solve a lot of these problems, right? And so it's sometimes better to stay and fight, to stay and improve the situation, to stay and be part of the dialogue of helping things out. And so getting back to this lady, a year ago she made her TikTok about running away.
I need to get the fuck out of this country.
And the responses she got from a lot of people was, hey, it's not that bad. Stay and fight. Stay and help improve the things that you see are wrong with the world. And again, while I don't personally care for her actual politics, I don't necessarily agree with anything that she necessarily stands for, I'm just saying that story of being in a place of frustration, and instead of running away, instead of going on vacation, instead of separating, you fight for the things that you believe in, actually makes her, in my opinion, maybe more of an American than had she gone with her initial instinct of running away. Very, very honorable.